A good General Lafayette. I'm talking to Shirley Temple Black, as I say, better known perhaps as Shirley Temple. Now, we were talking about the people you worked with.
Not to my husband, though.
No, not to Mr. Black.
That's right.
Right. What are you known as to your husband?
Beg pardon?
Mrs. Black or Shirley, or how does he
You really want to
address you?
That's Shirley.
Boss.
Boss? No, I wish.
Tell me about people like Gary Cooper that you worked with.
Very tall, had a wonderful belt.
Because you were small, what you...
I was so short that all of the stars I met, unless we were seated together, I became a connoisseur of belts, belt buckles, shoes, hands, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I liked work shoes the best.
Yeah. So it says in the book that many people considered that you were over the hill at 10. What went wrong?
Nothing went wrong. The films were getting worse and worse. And my mother had absolutely no control over scripts or co-stars or production values or anything. And so she saw the handwriting on the wall, and she made the wisest decision. She was a wonderful mom, absolutely the best. But she put me in a regular school instead of the private tutor I'd had all those years. And I spent the first whole year at Westlake School studying other girls' hairdos and all the different things one could do to one's hair to make it look awful. And I looked at one girl and I said, what is that on your face? She said, ooh, it's an awful pimple. I said, I want one. I'd never had one, and I really wanted a pimple.
Oh, what a deprived child.
Yeah, really. And so I got a pimple in about another year.
If you hang around, they'll always come.
Yeah, they come. And I was so proud, showing it off. And it was quite a bad one. My mother took me to the doctor, and he scraped and did all that business. No more chocolate. I love chocolate. So I waited about 2 weeks, and then I tried a bar of chocolate, and nothing happened. So I didn't listen to the doctor.
You're a very lucky woman in many ways, but one pimple in your life.
Oh, I had more than one. That was the beginning.
I see.
Grown-up Shirley.
Beginning of pimpledom.
That's right.
You made your last film at 22. You made a conscious decision, or your mother probably helped you in it, to retire.
She didn't help me in that. My boss was David O. Selznick, who was one of the greatest producers of that era.
Yeah.
And he called me in and he said, I either want you to go to Italy and learn the real acting, with no makeup and the shoulder, the blouse off the shoulder and all that.
The Anna Magnani stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or I don't think you should work anymore. You should do that. You should get more acting experience.
Yeah.
So I went to Hawaii to think about this. And I thought, what I really want to do is to have a happy marriage. I'd had a very unhappy marriage, one bad one, and had a wonderful daughter from that marriage. So I went to Hawaii to think about it and met Charlie Black, and we've been married 39 years. What can I say?
It was a blow. It was a blow to his family, though, wasn't he? I mean, he was struck from the social register.
Yes, he was. He was thrown out.
For marrying an actress.
They never allow anyone to be in the social register who's an actor, actress, or married to, same.
A body blow that must have been to it.
He sure didn't care. Neither one of us did.
Yeah.
Or no, do we?
I mean, the next 19 years then you devoted to raising a family.
Mm-hmm.
Was that was what you wanted? It wasn't an antique. You didn't miss the glamour of Hollywood?
And Heavy wanted a pimple. Guess what I got at age 23?
What?
Chicken pox. I mean, you talk about pimples.
Yeah.
I had them inside, down the throat, completely solid, my entire self.
You were fulfilled as a woman?
I was fulfilled as a woman, yes. I'd made it.
You'd had the chicken pox in the family and all that.
Did
Has any studio ever attempted to lure you back?
I get scripts. I got a very good one quite recently, but for a major TV show in the United States.
Would you do it?
No. I love my work in international relations. I'm in my 20th year now of government service.
What an extraordinary leap that was.
Not really.
We saw you as a child actor. You left, you seemed to disappear, and the next thing, you were the United States ambassador to Ghana.
Yes. That was the best job of my whole life.
But how did you get it? What was your training to be an ambassador?
I don't think you have a long enough show. But what happened was President Nixon appointed me to the United Nations in 1969.
What sort of a lap did he have? Or
I
were
never
you too
sat
old?
on
You
it.
never sat on it?
No. No, I never did. I got the job anyway, see? You don't have
Yeah.
to sit on laps. In fact, I didn't sit on any laps after about age 9. That was the end of lap sitting.
So he made you ambassador to...
He made me a member of the U.S. delegation to
Yeah.
the UN for the 24th General Assembly. And I did a good job there. I went on to be to Sweden for the Environment Conference as a member of the U.S. delegation, then worked at the White House on environmental quality, and went to the Soviet Union, our treaty between the U.S. and the USSR on environment, and then went to Ghana as the Republic of Ghana as U.S. ambassador. That was the most substantive job I've ever done, and it was a hard one, full-time.
Extraordinary.
Sometimes 18-hour days, if you can believe it.
Did you made a movie with Ronald Reagan?
Yes.
I mean, has he offered you any jobs, or did he offer you any jobs?
No, he didn't. We made a bomb of a movie together.
There, we just had a picture of it. What was that awful mistake?
That Hagen girl.
That
was the
Hagen
name
girl,
of it.
yeah.
Yeah. Time magazine said that when I jumped in the river in that film to end my life, the whole picture went to the bottom and stayed there.
What was he like to work with as an actor? I mean, you were quite grown in that. How old were you when you made that movie?
I was pregnant with my first child, Susan, 1948. I was 20 years old.
What was he like to work with, old
He
Ron?
was more interested in talking to the crew about labor problems and union problems, which there's a lot of that going around these days. And the only thing I can really say about Ronald Reagan that I enjoyed a lot, he was a good kisser.
There you go. You see, J. Edgar Hoover has the most comfortable lap in the world, and Ronnie Reagan's a good kisser. These are facts that have not been revealed.
It's true, and they're important.
How come he was such a good kisser? What did he do that was better than
I'm not
most?
going to tell you.
Well, it's just I'm still quite a young man. I'd like to know a few things.
Ask him.
Yeah, good kissers make
Yes.
good presidents. I mean, he was a Democrat then, wasn't he?
He was a Democrat then, yes.
And you're a Republican.
Then he got wise
Yeah. Why did you become a
over the
Republican?
years and became a Republican. Basically because in Massachusetts, when I was 10 years old, the governor of the state didn't like the children's hands on his shiny limousine, and I was leaning out for the one more picture that photographers ask you to do. And he slammed the door, and these 3 fingers were in the door. They're here, they didn't come off. But I remember my mother, when they opened the door, she couldn't even look. She just put them in her mouth and held them. It hurt like crazy. And I decided if a Democrat didn't like his shiny car being touched by children's hands, I was going to become a Republican.
As good a reason as any.
It's as good as any.
Honestly, come on.
Yeah.
And what about the present
Deep
president?
philosophy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Goodness sake. George Bush, is he going to be offering you a job?
He's a great man. I've known him since 1970.
That really wasn't the question I asked you. It's not a political interview, but I mean,
Yeah.
Has he offered you a job, and why
Well, you
not?
don't want to date the program, do you?
Well, it's a live show.
I'm working at the Department of State now as a foreign affairs officer.
You're not a spy or anything, are you?
No, me?
Well, you never
Good
know these
idea.
days.
Yeah. Yeah, surely.
You're just the stuff.
Surely the
I mean, I know
spy-
you never played Mata Hari, but people could say, oh, that's Shirley Temple, open-faced, honest. And you could be spying
Sounds
like crazy,
dull, yeah.
couldn't you?
But for the last 8 years, I've been training new first-time ambassadors before they go overseas.
In what?
How to manage their time, their mission, how to talk to the foreign ministry, what things to cover, and how to take care of their spare time. And also what to do if taken hostage.
You're a remarkable woman to go from child film star to training ambassadors how to behave if taken hostage.
It's a serious problem all over the world.
Right, of course, but in retrospect, therefore, you don't regret the giving up of what was a glittering career, I know, as a very young child, but still, you must look back with a fondness, and you don't look back with regrets.
My book, I'll be signing at Harrods tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Do you know, just for a
it's
moment,
book signing tomorrow.
You reminded me of Betty Davis there for just a moment.
I did? I think I'm honored.
I think it was the blatant plug that did it.
Oh, the blatant plug. I don't even see the book here. I mean,
my goodness.
What kind of a book tour am I on?
Yes, I don't know.
My goodness.
I mean, we'll probably run it up at the credits.
What was your question?
You've had biographies written about you.
There have been some 12 biographies written about me.
Was this to kind of redress the balance so that we'd get the true story?
It was to set the record straight, absolutely. There's a recent biography that has some 525 factual errors. And I wrote this book to mainly tell what a wonderful super mom I had.
Yeah.
And father and brothers, I mean, good family.
Why did it take you so long to write it, though? Why is it taking...
I had to get old enough, you know. I did, too.
Yeah. But it took you 8 years, I suppose.
It took me 8 years. I was doing other things. I found everything else to do I could.
Yeah.
I didn't discipline myself too well. But I enjoyed writing it, although it was very painful. I'd rather have babies. It's easier.
Really?
I mean, it's too late, but it would have been...
Anyway, yes, well,
Yeah.
Anyway, you've already told us about the babies
tonsils
and the tonsils and all the rest. We wish you success with the book.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us.
Great
Shirley
pleasure
Temple.
to be with you.
Shirley Temple Black, thank you for joining us. And we'll see you very soon. Good night. Bye-bye.
Step inside.